dive into the world of lead generation with this incredible group. These are the folks who are the forefront of transforming contracts into contracts. Get ready to take lots of notes and apply the strategies to supercharge your business.
So, come on, Chris Abram, Christopher Chompton, Armando Sacco, and Carlos Matias, come on the stage. Thank you.
Afternoon, everyone. We got a tough gig here after lunch, and we were just sitting there full of pasta and everything else. But it's just this one is genuinely a really important session because without leads, I believe we're nothing. We need to be able to generate leads, and I'm not going to introduce myself because I've already been up here. But we've got three gentlemen who want to share these lead generation strategies with you this afternoon, and they're just going to introduce themselves first. So, Christoph.
Yeah.
You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah.
I told you it was going to be a tough gig.
I am Christophe Jonton. I come from France, from a wonderful area called Burgundy. I think I've been a real estate for over 10 years, and I joined eXp with my team last year. And I am 62. And I've been speaking English since I am 61.
And in fairness to Christophe, until about 2 weeks ago, he thought he was delivering in French, so fair play to him. Carlos?
Sure. Hi, my name is Carlos Matias. I'm the founder and CEO of Object Solutions. We provide the Rep platform. Most of you know and are familiar with the platform we use. We've been working with eXp, expanding it globally with the global team, and we're very proud to be a partner with you guys and experiencing this amazing growth. So thank you for having me.
Armando, how are you?
Good to be here. Thank you, everybody, for showing up, at least. My name is Armando Sacco. I am in Italy. I am a realtor since 1991. I have experienced this for 7 years in the Canadian market, as I was an active realtor in Toronto. But then when I moved back to Italy in 2020, I was kind of lost because I had missed that Canadian and North American way of doing business, which is really structured, and they have the blessing of having an MLS system countrywide. So when I got contacted by eXp, it was a no-brainer. Just jumped in right away. eXp got in Italy in March 2021, and I joined in May 2021. So I just accomplished my 3rd year with eXp, starting the 4th one, and the best is yet to come.
Yeah, I've seen lots of your videos on Insta and stuff like that, so it'd be good to hear a little bit about that and why.
I will. I happily share my experience.
Okay. So, as I said, I'm not going to re-go over myself. I'm here just to sort of prompt these guys in terms of what they can offer to help you with in terms of lead generation. So we're just going to delve straight into the questions. Christoph, can you share with the audience what are your main reasons for using social media as a lead generation strategy in 2024?
So in real estate, we talk a lot about proximity, and proximity being where our customers and prospects are. And however, today they spend a lot of the time on the internet and mainly on social media. And we know that social media, to keep in touch, social media is to prospecting as automatic watering for gardening. I think there is on social media a very intense flow of publication, and it's increasing at the moment with the arrival of AI. So you must therefore stand out for the crowd. And video are the power to first attract attention and then to generate engagement more strongly than the content. 80% of internet users who saw, remember a video they saw and compare to 20% for an image and 12% for a text. I will come back. Stay. Pay attention to visibility and engagement. The video also allows better SEO because most sites favor video content. It's also a good commercial argument because in an ultra-competitive market, you differentiate yourself. And for example, in France, only 4% of real estate professionals use video regularly.
Wow.
So, it's important to understand that creating video is not just for short-time bio leads. Creating video is effective also in reaching other targets, sellers, tenants, investors, partners, new agents. Of course, it's essential for new agents. It allows more than other medium. It allows to develop credibility and trust. And to summarize, creating video is not just about following a trend. Creating video is a powerful strategy to build a dynamic online presence for capturing more leads and ultimately for closing more sales.
Thanks. And just quickly, how often are you putting content out there when you say how many times a week you post on different channels?
It's depend of for eXpcon we did a lot of video, not all serious, sometimes funny video, but a lot are
just regular, consistent content promoting your brand.
Each week you need to have a video.
Thanks. So Carlos, you were coming at things from a slightly different side with a software provider. What strategies do successful realtors use to tailor video content at different stages of the lead generation process, so maturing them through the sales funnel to the end of the process?
Yeah, I have the, I would say unique view from seeing video and other medias become popular in various regions around the world, and definitely agents seem to start to find their niche in the areas that are working for them. So the areas that I see that work very well is, agents who provide like educational and informative videos. They talk about the local markets, trends, neighborhoods. That's also very, very powerful. But also representing properties with videos is very good. That shows consumers confidence that as an agent you're going to represent their listing, also that when they're in that decision-making process, they know you're a good source of good video content.
So they make single content up.
Yeah, so you have different types of content, and even testimonials. That also shows agents, people that may be in the nurturing phase of the lead generation process, that you're having success with some of their customers and those kind of things. So that's the most important part. It provides trust, like we were saying, that you are a good partner. Even I've seen some really good effects with live and Q&A type sessions where the agents can sort of make themselves available to people who have concerns or questions about the market and just make yourself more accessible. And as a potential decision maker about who I'm going to choose, knowing somebody's accessible and very open and knowledgeable is also a very powerful source of leads. And then also using technology like email drip campaigns that have video, so that keeps in touch with people that maybe not right now looking to make a decision, but using some automated process helps you with the long-term catching the person at the right time at one of those decision points in their life where you're on their mind and are a good source. And the video, like you were saying, the videos are much more engaging than just a normal brochure or something like that. So, and last but not least is providing that additional level of trust with like behind the scenes type videos where you're showing your daily lives, maybe some fun things. Shows the human aspect. That also provides a lot of approachability and trust with people. And again, we're in that decision-making process, they will choose you a little more likely.
Yeah, I think that's the crucial point, really, isn't it? You first of all, you get people to engage with you and like your videos, but then you build an element of trust through what you're saying and how you're trying to deliver it.
Right.
And then ultimately then when they come to make a decision, they can issue to you as a real estate agent. Okay, thanks. Armando,
Yes.
you've been very successful in building a TikTok following with videos reaching a significant portion of your target audience. Can you share with us how you first came around that idea of starting the business that way and how you go about it?
Yes. Thank you for the question. By the way, I put down some notes just to make sure I don't forget anything. So the first video came out basically from a rather unexpected encounter. I was showing a property to one of my buyers, and when I was just about approaching my car, a bystander stopped me and said, "You realtors are useless." Well, I could have dismissed the comment, but then I said, no, let's dig more. So I wanted to hear from the gentleman. I said, you know what, maybe you're right. Maybe we are useless. I'm sure you're good at putting the price to your own home, aren't you? Maybe you want to price it and leave some money on the table. You never know. Maybe you're good going through all the paperwork that it takes, zoning requirements, the freehold, leasehold, lien on the properties, all the regulations that you have to meet now with the energy efficiency. I said, you're good at that too, aren't you? I said, then maybe third, you're even good at negotiating. I myself, I'm in the business 33 years now. I maybe negotiated, without maybe, more than 1,000 negotiations, some successful and some not. I said, I'm sure you are more skilled than myself. Isn't that right? So he kind of acknowledged, he said, well, I see your point. So basically, he got me to an epiphany. I got to understand by that comment, there's a lot of myths going around, and that us realtors do basically nothing, just, and the TV shows are helping this myth to grow.
Right.
They show our glamorous agents showing glamorous homes and happily walking to the bank to cash the commission check. But I realized quite soon, and maybe you guys know, but I'm going to tell you something. We're doing a hard job. Our job is hard. It's not easy. There are so many aspects to take care of. And when in Canada, obviously we would be, by the rules, had to not tap into any other professional's field, so we could not give tax advice, we could not give legal advice, so on and so forth. But now that I'm back in Italy, the audience expects the agent to be the point of reference for any kind of subject that comes up. And so that encounter told me that, maybe we have to put out there what we do behind the scenes. Not everybody knows what we go through, what we actually do. And so that was the first video. And funny enough, it is still on my TikTok, because I then chose TikTok as a media. And I immediately got some comments and resonated with people. Some were nice comments, some other ones were a little bit less nice. But then I said, you know what, let's focus on the ugly comments and see how we can just, respond to those objections. And those spurred other videos that brought me to understand that through the videos that I do, I basically embraced the rule of the 3E. I'm not too sure if everybody knows. It was said just before me by the other panelists. I have to engage the audience, I have to educate the audience, and obviously I try to throw in something funny and entertain them. So even if the topic might be annoying, like paperwork or zoning requirements, if you put it in a way that you catch people's attention, maybe they'll follow you, and basically the comments that I get into the private DM, the DM messages are awesome. So that's what I can say.
No, thank you. And obviously since working with these guys over the last couple of weeks and months preparing, I don't know if somehow we can get the hashtags or whatever back up, but if you follow Christoph and Amanda's Instagram and the content is really engaging, it's really authentic and it's really original. It's a really good watch as well with following that. Back to you, Christoph. How do you advise agents to choose a particular platform to appeal to the widest audiences?
I think first you must define your target audience.
Yes.
It will be different for a studio, a large family home or building. Of course, so by example, Instagram and TikTok are aimed as a younger audience. Facebook has a slightly older audience, and LinkedIn is interesting in reaching professional or investors. Secondly, use the format that works on each platform. Of course, on TikTok, you use short video like time-lapse tours or the rest you like.
So it's simplistic, but it's different content on different platforms.
And on Instagram, it's great for a quick story, or if you take YouTube is interesting for in-depth video, or like a walkthrough or tutorial is on YouTube. And thirdly, you must consider the advertising targeting capacity. Of course, Instagram and Facebook have advanced advertising targeting capacity options and age, location, interest, etc., and which make it possible to target a very specific segment of the population. So I think we can already use these three criteria: audience, usual format, and advertising capacity. And then the world of social media is constantly evolving. So experiment new tools and to see what resonates best with your own audience.
And do you favour, or do you vary across the platform? Do you favour one particular platform? Do you see more success from one? YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, you shouldn't drive without mirrors.
Yeah.
So the important thing is analyze results and constantly improve.
Excellent, thank you. Carlos, this is definitely one for a software provider. What key performance indicators should agents focus on when evaluating the impact of the videos? And how can they leverage the data to then provide better results moving forward?
Yeah, the good news is, as Christoph was alluding to, most of these platforms now are very measurable in many aspects, and much better than any former marketing initiatives that we had in the past. So the key things that I see that are really important that agents should measure, obviously views, shares, likes, comments, those are all simple but very important metrics. Obviously that's engagement. Those are things that can be very easily reported on. But then there are other engagement metrics that things like number of shares and number of times that people are clicking through and filling out the forms and actually generating leads. Obviously those are the conversion rates.
Yeah.
Those are ultimately the first step in generating leads. Obviously, once you've generated those leads, the second most important, ultimately is most important, but you got to get the lead in the door first. The secondly is, do they translate into actual transactions? And so being able to track different campaigns, different videos, all the way through to not just their source of the lead, but did it actually translate into commission, I would say is one of the key performance indicators that everybody should be on top of. The other thing too is the quantity of leads isn't always an important part. The quality of leads is also an important aspect. So even though they may not turn into a transaction, they may become a very qualified lead that is rated very highly, and we want to track those leads. And then correlate that back to the campaign that led to that. Also really important. So those kind of quality of lead is also an important metric. The conversion rates, depending if you're using marketing campaigns, if you're doing a paid campaign, knowing the return on investment too. Obviously, if you're spending thousands of dollars on a campaign, but it's only returning you on transaction here and there, then we got to measure that too. See where you get the best return on your investment by tracking the investment you're making in those platforms, and then how that translates to individual transactions. And then, like Christoph was saying, you got to keep measuring, you got to keep looking at what the results are, and do some A/B testing where you're like trying one method, see what that result is, try a different method. Whether that's mixing it up, whether it's different platforms or whether it's different approaches. Yeah, more fun type videos versus more informative or more formal education type things. So trying all those different things and measuring them, I think, is a key part of where to put your time and effort and money.
I just got something to add to that, really. Yeah, I know we're all, I don't know how relevant this is, but we're all, I'm guilty of it this week, is you post something on LinkedIn or Facebook because you're here and you just look at how many likes you got, and look at how many likes you got, and look at how many likes you got, and there's more to what you just said than that. And a little quick story for me is a couple of years ago with my van that you saw earlier, and an old lady tapped on the window and said, "You are Chris," and you, and obviously I'm Chris because I'm driving Chris's van. But she said, I love your videos. I don't interact. I don't know what button to press. And I don't do it. But I'm looking for houses, and I watch your videos because you are who you are. So it's not always about the numbers, especially when you're new or you're just starting or just learning your business. Don't be just focused on that. Just keep delivering consistent, authentic content, and the right people will come to you, in my opinion. Armando? You mentioned dictate the time you to create TikTok content. What inspired you to start making the videos, and how do you see the strategy evolving to drive lead generation in the future? What advice would you give also, when we talk, this is a lot about video. Some people I was certainly hesitant about video initially, and it doesn't always have to be a Hollywood production, but what advice would you give to people hesitant to embrace video?
Okay, so basically there are two questions. I'll try to do my best to answer. And yes, I do resonate with what Christophe and Carlos said about the different platforms. And I do look at the analytics all the time. And a myth that I had to kind of rethink was about TikTok. Everybody says, "No, TikTok is just young guns, young kids. They're not interested in buying houses." Well, but when I pulled up some analytics about some of my videos, the one that got most attention, I could see that 76% of my viewers were 45 and above. So, as an agent yesterday pointed and he said, this group is your buyers and this group are your sellers. So it is in target. So let's not, think about, take myths for granted. Sometimes we need to work around it. To come to your question, so why? I touched that a bit. It was basically the desire to educate. I'm not too sure if I have this educational Armando in me, like to help people understand with simple words. And sometimes I explain even laws like with simple words, because it's useless that we hide behind fancy the lingo of the industry, where then people don't understand us. And basically, combined with the power of storytelling, showcasing the property or explaining some loopholes or legal requirements, or just building relationship. We're basically becoming we're humanizing who us agents are. We have a social role, which is the one to accompany people in a pretty delicate transition. Sometimes it's the biggest asset they have. And most of the time when they call the agent, it's because they either getting married, divorcing, upsizing, downsizing, somebody passed away. So there is already in that family or in that person that's calling you some tension. And if we bring more tension to the table, guess what? It becomes ugly.
We do it daily, but they only do it.
Exactly, but they don't know it.
Yeah.
So it is our responsibility to get out there and to educate our crowd, our people, our buyers, our sellers. And we all know that we do live in the attention economy. They have done a study, like while we're here talking, there's always somebody doing a study. They've done a study that every person in this group, on a daily basis, is exposed to something like 6,000 to 10,000 advertisements daily. So basically, we are living in the attention economy. So everybody is looking for our attention, and we are looking for people's attention. And therefore, getting out there where people are, these days they're not buying newspapers anymore and reading ads with the magnifying lens. They're on the phones. And so a little bit differently than what Christophe and Carlos said, I just put it out there on all platforms. There is a video that on TikTok did just 9,000 views, that on Facebook got 410,000 views. The same video, not repurposed, not repolished, nothing. So basically, just get out there, put out your message, be authentic, and this comes to the second part of the question. My advice would be just to be creative, informative, entertaining, and that would put yourselves as knowledgeable, trustworthy. And we all know that when people trust you, they'll do business with you. And if you do business, you maybe make more money. What the future... Thank you.
We learn from others, we watch what other people, but we provide our own sensory content.
Yes, and just tapping into what was said this morning during the AI panel, now I'm thinking about, for the future adding like a multi-language strategy. I am transforming one of my TikTok accounts into English only, and I will probably put a Japanese one, who knows? And one last thing I would like to say is that we put stuff out there, and honestly I'm targeting sellers, mainly buyers. In Italy we don't have an MLS, but I would love to help them out. But the byproduct of all of this is having agents filling my direct message box saying, Armando, your videos are awesome, you look like an actor, we love it, I wish I had the guts. How do you do it? And guess what? That is the perfect lead you want to do eXp expansion. So that is what you just get for free. So my advice is start doing your video today. Put it out, record anything, tell everybody you're here in Lisbon at this beautiful event, that you are people from all over the world, and just put it out there. You'll see that the results are going to be amazing. And as I want to do a little line that Gary Vee says all the time, best known beats the best. So the best known agent beats the best agent. Put it out there. Thank you.
Brilliant. Just one time for a quick last question, Christophe, if that's okay. What advice would you give to an agent who's just starting out and wants to integrate video into a lead generation strategy?
The answer is okay.
Sorry about that.
So first, I think make simple to get started. Even if today we can produce easily video with smartphone, quality video required and invest this much time. So make simple. By example, you are writing a post. Instead of just writing, you can take the title or the most important sentence in the post and say it in front of the camera. To anticipate, look at your calendar for coming weeks. You have a new listing, an open house, home staging intervention. All these are opportunities. Third, test. What we said yesterday is perhaps no longer true today. And I think test and be opportunistic. By example, today, just pick up your phone, just starting recording, and say bonjour, aujourd'hui je suis à Lisbonne. Et on intervient avec le réseau eXp pour parler de la vidéo. Hello, here I am on stage in Lisbon with 250 leaders of eXp reality. And share advice, tips about performing with video.
Bravo!
Vive la France!
But not the least, follow your lead. Each lead is a seed, and you can become the best gardener of the world.
I love that.
Vive la France!
Allez les bleus!
Et la Bourgogne.
Allez Christophe!
So I think what we've had there over the last half hour or so is some really good advice from everyone. it's just about getting out there and doing your video. It's about going across the platforms, not being scared of it. It's about different content on different platforms sometimes, but also it's about measuring results and then tweaking your adjustment and authentic content that is coming from you and just you making the best version of you, not trying to copy somebody else. I think that will come across as well. So big thanks to Carlos, Christoph and Amanda for sharing your ideas with us. And please do follow their pages if you get a chance. Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you so much for those insights. I have so many ideas to take back to my business. Staying informed and adaptive is key to our success. And regardless